art teacher with Arts for the Schools. We are a nonprofit organization that serves 16,000 local students every year. We are really excited to bring you art classes to your home. Mandalas are used for purification and healing. A place of nirvana, they represent peace. In Tibetan Buddhist culture, a mandala offering is a symbolic offering to the universe, representing the impermanence of existence. Tibetan Buddhist monks, they create their mandalas in sand, and when they're finished, they blow them away, thus showing this impermanence. Similarly, in Navajo and Hopi culture, sand mandalas are also used. It's a circle that represents wholeness. It represents the divine, the infinite, the relationship between our body and mind and the world outside. The materials that you're going to need for today's lesson are a regular sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper, or drawing paper if you prefer, number 2 pencils, an eraser, and a pencil sharpener. A box of colored pencils. These are Prismacolors, which are wonderful, but any kind of colored pencils will do. And a ruler. The 3 art concepts I need to cover in this lesson are geometric shapes, organic shapes, and radial symmetry. Geometric shapes have regular edges and can be defined by math, such as circles, squares, triangles, rectangles, octagons, hexagons, etc. Organic shapes have irregular edges and are freeform. Radial symmetry means symmetry around a central axis. Now we're going to try one of our own personal mandalas. Go ahead and pause the video for a few minutes to gather your materials. The first step of making your mandala is to square your paper. So I'm going to make, since it's an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, I'm going to make a mark at the 8.5 point there, as well as the 8.5 point here. Connect my marks. And cut along the line. The next step is to draw my diagonals. So I'm holding the pencil just between my 2 fingers and lightly drawing my lines. And then to draw my center lines, so since it's 8.5, I'll do it at 4 1/4 through the center point. And 4 1/4. And now you have your paper divided into 8 sections. At this point, you could draw your circle. If you have a compass, you'd put your compass point in the middle and draw your circle to the edge of the paper here. If you don't have a compass, like I don't right now because of our current situation, and you can't go out and get one, you can just start doing your mandala and working from the center outward until you get to about this point. At this point, you should have a circle created. So you can start with any motif you want. You start in the center in one section and move outward, repeating whatever you do in this section, in the next section, the next section, the next section, etc., etc. So really creating a mandala is quite a centering process. So I'm going to start. I'm going to draw kind of a petal-like shape in one section. I'm going to repeat the petal in the next section, and again. And again, turning my mandala as I draw. Now I have the center of my mandala. Fixing it where it needs to be is kind of a floral design. Now you continue filling in your design with either organic or geometric shapes. I'm going to put a nice kind of diamond shape here. Repeat that diamond shape in the next section. This section on this line as well. Here as well. And continue with the same shapes all the way around the mandala. As I go, I can remove my guidelines. Perfect my lines. Doesn't need to be perfect. The only rule drawing mandala is whatever you draw in one section, you repeat in all 8 sections. Creating a mandala is very much like a meditation in itself. As mandalas are used cross-culturally for healing, I see mandalas as each individually a prayer for healing. everybody to color a mandalas. Color choices are up to you. I just want to show you here. I have a mandala color wheel, the bat cat color wheel. And you could go a couple different ways with color. You could do a complementary color scheme. So complements are opposite on the color wheel. So blue and orange, red and green, yellow and violet is one option. You could also do an analogous color scheme, meaning colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So kind of like a blue-green color scheme, or an orange-red, or a blue-purple. I'm looking at my Prismacolor pencils now, and I think I'm going to go with an analogous color scheme. So I'm thinking that I'd like to go with pinks and purples. Maybe a little bit of light aqua blue. Maybe a little turquoise. And for fun, I think I'm going to add some silver. So I would choose, that might be too many colors, but since they're so similar, I think that'll work. I wouldn't go more than 6 or 7 colors. It's up to you, of course. So you're going to start coloring your mandala from the inside of the circle outward, and the same rule applies. Whatever you do to one part of your mandala, you continue to do all the way around. The fun part about Prismacolor pencils is that they blend really nicely. So I've decided that to give each of my shapes more of a three-dimensional look of form, I'm not going to fill each space with shape with just one color. I'm actually going to use my white to kind of burnish over my aqua petals. Now you can continue to finish your mandalas. Share your finished mandala on our Arts for the Schools Facebook or Instagram page within the next 2 weeks, and we'll compile them into a collective digital quilt. Arts for the Schools is a nonprofit. If you're able to make a small donation, see the links at the end of this video. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope to see you again next week.